This week on Another Brother.
Yeah, so our sixth ghost is none other than the one, the only, Josh's wife, Shayna.
Better be the only one.
Well, when in Rome.
And his books average how many hundreds of pages?
Oh, thousands.
Oh, gosh.
Thousands of hundreds of pages? This man has me stop.
Yeah, Brandon Sanderson. And then I discovered he lives in Utah. And I was like, I got to move to Utah, and that's why I'm here.
Wait, no, it's
no,
not.
not really.
I was going to say, come on. It's time to end our epic tale.
For
I don't know.
For ethical reasons.
Yeah, we've been lying to you.
Another brother.
How many ghosts have we had total?
Oh,
Jared and Dad.
And Greg.
And Greg.
And Greg, thank you. And
his
Josh.
son.
Yeah.
Josh,
Yeah. And Henry.
Oh,
And
gosh.
Henry.
So 6
Terrible at
or
this.
5?
Well, hang on. Slow down. Let me.
Did you count Liz? Is she a ghost or is she a...
I don't know if she counts as a ghost. She was more like a regular to begin with.
Yeah.
I guess 5. I can't think of
5?
Buttons.
Oh, yeah.
he didn't host anything.
So we have here with us today our 6th ghost of all time. That's not a ranking, though. It's just
Yeah.
order.
It's not an auspicious number either.
It is not auspicious.
If you're new to the podcast, we've made a portmanteau, I guess, of guest, host, ghost. Because we also like ghosts.
Branding.
Yeah.
Yeah, so our 6th ghost is none other than the one, the only, Josh's wife, Shayna.
Better be the only one.
Well, when in Rome, it's Shayna. Woo!
Hello. Thanks for letting me on, guys.
Yeah, I tried to keep her at home, but she just followed.
I was
That's what ghosts do.
just saying I asked to be on like 2 years ago.
Oh boy.
And now it's happening.
Yeah,
To make it clear, I never heard anything about that. So
It was a
that was a
scheduling-
secret.
that's
Only
how
Josh
far
knew.
scheduled out we are, guys. It's
Yeah,
hard
for sure.
to get onto this show.
You got to book us 3 years early now.
We're so on top of things.
Yeah, get your requests in now.
Yeah. Okay, so my story starts in 2015. I had just gotten out of the military, 5 years in the Army, and didn't have a plan for afterwards, really. So my mom invited me to go to Germany to see her brother there. And so I went, and I figured, hey, I'm in Europe. I'll visit Paris and Barcelona at the same time. And
At the same time. Whoa.
Quantum entanglement.
Nice.
yeah. When you travel the quantum, you take lots of planes and trains. So
Oh, that
During-
kind of quantum.
as you can imagine, I didn't have much to entertain myself with on planes and trains except for books. So I picked up Mistborn was my first Sanderson novel, and
This is where
Brandon
it began.
Sanderson.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's that new in
that's
your
where
life,
it all
huh?
began.
Okay.
2015. Well, not exactly, because Brandon Sanderson also finished The Wheel of Time, which was like a primary part of my life, my adolescence. And he wrote the last 3 or 4 books of that series. So
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah. Yeah, so those were the very first Sanderson books. And
Sure.
I really thought he did a great job finishing up that series. So I was already a fan of him in that way, but I hadn't read anything that he had written otherwise until Mistborn in 2015. And it really blew me away. I was pretty excited about it. And so I just started, I was like, I got more time to kill. So I just kept getting the next one and the next one. And
Oh, you said your first one was Mistborn, not Elantris?
that's right. Yeah.
Okay, so you went to the next Mistborn in the series. So you stayed in that series, or you were like hopping
I
around?
did finish the series first, and then I started hopping around. Yeah. Yeah. And I even read like his novellas, his short stories, and just everything I could find.
Oh, he has stuff that's outside of the Cosmere.
Cosmere, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. And what was really
Alex face
exciting.
leads me to believe he has a lot outside of the Cosmere.
I'm pretty sure he does. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, he does. Yeah, one of his biggest things outside the Cosmere is pretty recent Skyward series, which is pretty excellent.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Heather's a big fan. Too.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I didn't know that one's out.
Yeah, but the Cosmere in 2015 was not really a thing that anyone knew about. And as I was reading these books, I started to like, and as I was looking for more of his work to read, I started to like hear whispers of this thing that's the Cosmere. So I was like getting pretty excited about that. Is like secret world building that he was doing that was just like barely known to anyone.
Just kind of behind the scenes.
Yeah. 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 So that was, it was kind of just like exciting because I love when things are kind of all connected, kind of like the Marvel universe is, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. So jump forward to 2022 and Sanderson is huge. He's starting to have these giant conventions that I love to go to every year. Thankfully, Joshua supports me in that.
Well, support. Yes. Yeah. It makes you happy.
Yeah. So in 2022 was the first time where he just released a book where there was a bunch of tie-ins with the Cosmere. And it was exciting time that it's just the whole thing blew up. And now we just have like people from other worlds who are all mixed into all of his books. And yeah, the Cosmere is right now it's at about 24 books.
Whoa.
Yeah, which includes like short stories and novellas.
Okay. Do you know what major series are in that?
Yes, Mistborn and the Stormlight Archive are the only ones that are series. And Mistborn is like 2 separate trilogies right now. But he's planning on like 4 total trilogies within Mistborn.
Dang.
Yeah, and then there's the Stormlight Archive, which is going to be 2 sets of 5 books. So it'll be 10 total. Right now, the 5th one. So it'll be like the first arc of the Stormlight Archives coming out in just like a few weeks. It's very exciting.
Nuh-uh.
The next convention, yes.
First week of December?
Yeah.
Oh. Snap.
And his books average how many hundreds of pages?
Oh, thousands.
Oh, gosh.
Thousands of hundreds of pages? This man has me stop.
Millions of
He's killing all the trees.
Yeah, I don't know. But I think it's over 1,000, maybe 2,000.
I swear it takes Heather months of listening
Oh, yeah.
to the audiobooks to finish one. Like,
Yeah.
The audiobooks
just
are
goes
like
on and on.
50 hours.
Yeah.
Over 50 hours.
Dang. That's
Yeah.
some good Audible value right
I
there.
know,
yeah.
right?
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
One credit goes a
Seriously.
long way.
Yeah, a lot of other books, it's like 3 or 4 hours. You get a lot more out of Sanderson.
The graphic audio versions, which I highly recommend, it's different. Do you know graphic audio?
No.
It's its own company. They do highly produced.
Basically a movie.
It's a movie in your mind.
They do like radio drama versions.
Yeah, with
Got it.
music and they're awesome.
Multiple voice acters.
Those
instead of the
books are
one
so
person.
large. The MP3s there's 6 MP3s per book,
Sheesh.
just to keep it a maintainable like
File size.
and
Dang.
download. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not as big a fan of those because
It's
they
not
cut out some
Sanderson.
material.
It's not pure Sanderson.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird.
Well, they have to adapt. It's an adaptation.
Yeah, it's an
That's interesting. So there's got to be some rights stuff that has to go into that to be able to modify it in any way.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah, I don't know
interesting.
how it works.
Yeah, the producer and it's all. I don't know. Anyway, I like them, but they're really long.
Yeah. Yeah, and Josh got the kids into it too.
Because it's a movie in your mind. And we don't let them do screens, so
Yeah.
do their own screens.
Yeah, and they're so in total, it's going to be over 40 books in the Cosmere.
My goodness.
Yeah. So, if anyone likes the crossovers, it's the way to go.
Yeah. I mean, the first multiverse in books that I ever remember was Stephen King's
The Dark Tower series?
not even Dark Tower, but before that, just like Derry, like these different towns
Sure.
that
Right.
had
But they were all in Maine.
in Maine.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
right.
All these stories that had common locations and timelines and
Right.
stuff. And then Dark Tower
Well,
as like a
yeah. I mean,
separate.
that's what I was thinking about too, because similarly, I don't know if he's always meant it to be this way or if he kind of realized it later, but a lot of his books take place in a shared universe too. And it's not quite as formalized, I don't think, as maybe his books, but like It is just a creature from this, what's that? What does he call that place? It's like a shadow realm between realms that's just all pure darkness except for all these horrifying Cthulhu-like monsters, and that's
And
where
clowns.
Pennywise came from. Pennywise came from the Toadash darkness.
Kodash.
What the heck?
The Toadash darkness. And
It's in
Yeah.
other books too, the Toadash.
Yeah, Todash.
they never use the word in the other books.
What?
Toadash, I've only heard it in the Dark Tower,
Tower?
series.
So it's more
I
applied
have to
across
look into that.
his
Yes,
books.
it is. It's less explicit and more implicit.
Kind of like the
But-
shine isn't always
The Shine.
explained.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Exactly.
People have the shine, and you just understand that it's there
Right.
based on what they're doing, but
Right,
he doesn't
right.
call it out.
And it's in more books than The Shining.
Yeah,
There's some of it in The Stand.
yeah. Dark Tower.
Definitely in the Dark
Wait,
Tower.
have you guys read all these?
Oh yeah.
I haven't necessarily read all of them, but I have at least listened to.
Hot take. Song
Yeah.
Song of Susanna. Worst of the Dark Towers books.
Say that for Dad.
I'm only halfway through it. I can't get
I'm not
through it.
sure
But
that
anyway.
is a hot take, really.
Oh, great. Nailed it.
Par for the course for our hot takes.
It's kind of a rough one. Yeah, there's a lot going on in that one, and it's just sad to see everyone broken up.
Yeah.
You want the group together, and yeah. Anyway,
Like the Wheel of Time, when Matt and Perrin and all the other characters go on their separate journeys.
Yeah, it's sad, especially Perrin, who never really rejoins the group.
Really?
I feel like,
Well, he gets married.
spoiler alert.
yeah, spoiler alert. Sorry. I don't think anyone
After
so.
book 15.
For those of you still with us.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway, bringing back to being on the train.
Right.
Yeah, Brandon Sanderson. And then I discovered he lives in Utah. And I was like, I got to move to Utah. And that's why I'm here.
Wait.
No, it's
No, not
not.
really.
Okay, I was gonna say, come on. You had me.
Darn it.
No, but I was in Utah and I was like, wait a second. My favorite author in the world lives in Utah. And I'm not like going to all of his events.
Not
and book
stalking
releases.
him?
Yeah. Why am I not stalking this guy? So then, and I like did it right in the exact right time because that's when he like started building up to these big conventions that he does
Right.
now.
Right.
Yeah, and this one it's gonna have a ball, which I probably am going to. Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That's interesting.
where they're gonna have like character actors and like a
Costumed up.
story that's part of it.
Cool.
Yeah.
I've never heard of something like that before
Yeah.
at a fan convention.
Well, it's probably hard to do.
Yeah.
Whereas for him, it's like all of his fans, you have all of his work that you can draw from and just cosplay as any single one of his.
It's kind of like a LARP event almost.
Yeah.
A formal
Oh,
LARP.
yeah, for sure.
That's interesting.
A formal wear LARP.
That's what it is, right? Yeah,
It is, yeah.
That's kind of a cool idea.
Well, what we're thinking maybe because they're releasing Stormlight 5,
Yes.
and in this main Lethe culture, they have like massive dinners like every night, just revelry and
Yeah.
drinks and food, and they have these islands. I don't know what it means. There's these things called islands.
Yeah. So the culture has like clear distinctions for male and female roles, I guess, in society.
Sure.
In the islands, there's like one for men and one for women, and then one where they can like mingle together too. So I
plus
think
the
that's
King's
main-
Island would be separate.
The King's Island is where they are doing the mingling, I think.
Are these
Okay.
actual literal physical islands
That's
in the
what I don't
sea?
That's what I was
know.
gonna
And
ask.
not in the
called
sea.
islands.
It's
Okay.
like
Societal.
fabricated,
Probably a platform
fabricated
or
platforms with like kind of like rivers running around them.
And bridges over.
Oh,
Okay.
So I'm
so they are
wondering.
physical islands, so it's not just
Yeah.
In
like,
a way, yeah.
oh, interesting.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if they're gonna make the ball into different islands and stuff.
Yeah, I'm wondering that too. That'd be cool.
Just keep your gloves on.
Yeah.
Left glove?
Yeah. Left hand is covered up by a glove for women.
It makes me feel like
I'm out of it.
It makes
Yes,
me.
I knew something.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a meme about that, right?
Oh, is there?
Is
I
there?
think that's why.
No,
You're
I
talking
knew
about-
it from a YouTuber artist
Oh, really?
guy.
Oh,
Jazza.
Jezza.
Oh.
Yeah. Is he a fan?
I think so. He does this series of videos where he draws characters purely by
Yeah.
the description,
Description in the book.
in the
Oh, yeah.
art that they come from, whether it be typically a book, I guess, yeah.
It is usually.
And so that's where I learned about it. And then he had Brandon Sanderson come in and review his drawings.
What?
Oh.
Yeah.
He probably freaked out.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Now I want to ask. So we've talked about the Cosmere. You've mentioned that it's this like behind the scenes web that ties a bunch of these books together. Anything specific? Anything that like really echoes through most of the books, or
Oh, there's a lot. But if you're referring to Hoyd, is that what you're doing?
maybe?
Yeah, there's one character who's in all the books, and that's where they all kind of
In all of them.
yeah, he appears. He makes very brief appearances. He's like, one word for him is a world hopper, and that's like so there's some characters who can move between worlds, and they're all called world hoppers. And that's like kind of a fun thing too for dressing up at the conventions, because it can be anyone and anything, any style of dress, whatever. But there's like the real unifying factor for Cosmere is kind of the gods that are over the different worlds and their backstory and their where it's going.
Okay, so is this a shared literal universe, or are these
Yes.
gods like outside of the universe and over a multiverse?
Ooh,
Like, are those world
challenging.
hoppers interdimensional, like between realities?
Like
No.
they're
Just
aliens
space
on
and
Earth?
time.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's realms. There's the physical, the cognitive, and the spiritual realm.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
I opened up more than I thought I was going to.
but there's not I don't know, different dimensions or
Sure.
different
Can I put a quick pause
Incarnations.
because I think it's important?
Huh?
What were those realms again?
spiritual, cognitive, and physical.
Yeah,
Think-
body,
think-
mind, spirit.
Think of the book,
that
book of
where you're
Moses. Things are
All things created spiritually before physically.
yeah, but you got to think about them first, right?
Cognitive.
So like cognitively,
So, like, the
spiritually,
intelligence-
and then physically,
Intelligence, spirit, physical body. That
embodiment.
yeah. Okay.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, because he is a member of the
He's
church.
yeah. Yep, there it was.
Okay. Sorry, I keep forgetting.
Yeah. So that's another interesting thing with Brandon Sanderson being a member of the church. He seems to draw a lot on his faith and
Theology, I'd say. Yeah.
theology. And so it's really fun because when Josh talks about different things from Book of Mormon or theological stuff, I'm like, oh, I understand what you're saying. It really like connects with this
with the
book with
Cosmere.
Brandon.
Opens up new meanings for you to read your favorite author.
Yeah.
I have a testimony. I know that the works of Brandon Sanderson are true. Dangerous.
That's not unusual for authors that are members of the church either. Orson Scott
Yeah.
Card brought some of that into his Alvin Maker series of books
Oh,
too.
big time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
very robustly.
Anyway.
Well, I think it's funny because, yeah, a lot of these things come. And maybe I might be taking liberty with the examples, but as I read or hear something from Shane, I'm like, oh, that's exactly like X, Y, and Z. And he
Yeah.
probably got that from this. And
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's been a really huge boon to Brandon to be able to draw from his faith and
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, it sounds like this Hoyd character came from the Pixar universe. It's John Ratzenberger.
What?
No? Oh, dang it. I thought at least one of you would know. John Ratzenberger. He's like in every Pixar movie.
What?
Yeah. He's the pig in Toy Story.
Oh, the actor. Oh, yes, right.
Oh, so
yeah.
he
Got it.
voices someone in every.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's just because he's
that's
good.
funny.
He's Mac, the big semi-truck in Cars.
He's just constantly reincarnating.
Yeti and Monsters, Inc.
Oh, that's funny.
Dang it. All right.
No, sorry. Didn't know that.
I don't have any kids, so Pixar multiverse is not on my mind.
Yeah, I do think Inside Out was like the first Pixar movie that they didn't put him in or something. I was heartbroken.
It's a real blow.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I hope Hoy doesn't get
I think
thrown
there
to the
is a
side like
novella that he's not in. Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Just have to read it harder. He's in there somewhere.
Yeah, he's probably in a crowded room. We just don't know it.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He was there.
There it is. Yeah. So,
Gosh.
I've never read any of his books.
Yeah.
And I don't. There's so many great fantasy authors from the United States that it's hard for me to keep track of which series belong to which of those authors. But I'm pretty sure that he wrote and created an entire world for a video game series.
Yes. Yep.
Okay, Josh, what is it? Do you
Infinity
know?
Blade.
Yeah.
Infinity Blade?
Yes.
Oh man, I thought it was part of the Stormlight Archive for some
No,
reason.
he actually, I don't know if they created the game first, actually, and then he wrote the stories after playing them.
My understanding was that they collaborated with him to create the fiction for the game for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has he written books in that universe too now? Is that what you're saying?
No,
Oh, okay.
I don't know what happened with that because I read I think there were like 2 novellas when I read them. And then I don't know if he ever finished, like, because I feel like the story didn't end,
Right.
but
Sure.
I haven't seen anything come up about it.
Okay.
He also did this one that was released earlier this year called Moonbreaker,
Oh, yeah.
which if you haven't looked into, sounds like a really cool game.
I feel like that's the one that I've actually heard of. Is that the miniatures game where like it's almost like you're playing D&D but
Yeah.
virtually, like,
Yeah.
and
it's-
like all of the little figures are like actually little figures. They're not animated. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's the one that I've heard of.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
what?
That's going to be a way better one.
yeah.
Okay.
It looks pretty cool.
Is it out yet?
Yep. February.
Is it like a real-time strategy
Oh.
game?
Not real time.
tabletop.
No, turn-based.
Turn-based.
Turn-based, yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Tabletop role playing.
I guess you'd call it a
collectible
tactical
card.
strategy game.
Yeah.
A
Okay.
TTS, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a huge gamer. His favorite is like, is it Elden Ring? Is that what it's
Yeah.
Which is another interesting example because George R. Martin
Right.
made up the fiction for that one.
called? Yeah, and he's told them, he's like, hey,
yeah.
can I be the next author?
Oh, really?
So he wants to do that, yeah.
Cool. That
Wow.
would be so rad.
See, this is where you gotta look at what he's done, where all of his passions are, and what he plans to do, what he's projected to do. There's not going to be enough time.
Yeah. He's actually,
That's what I wonder.
he actually planned that out. He realized that. He like made a timeline based on his pace of writing and how many books he's publishing and how many books he has planned. And he realized that he would not have enough time to finish the Cosmere. So he had to reprioritize to make sure that he will finish the Cosmere before he,
Kicks it
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeesh.
until he has his wife pull a Mrs. Jordan and
Oh,
identify the
well,
next
I feel like
author
he's
for his books.
he's already cultivating some authors to take over. He has Jancy Patterson, who's already co-written a few books of his, and he's got some other authors that he's kind of lining up to write books.
Did
too.
she co-write in
Doesn't get more epic than that, I
the
don't think.
Star?
Skyward? Yeah,
Skyward?
Yep, she
Like
did
one of the main
novellas.
books? The
No, the
novellas.
novellas. Yeah.
I was going to say at that point, I'm going to say it. AI could be doing it for him.
Shut up.
Or maybe we'll be able to download his consciousness.
No, you could probably just train an entire AI on the works of Brandon Sanderson.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but
That is its
No.
only input.
Get his style and voice.
Yeah, no thanks.
But world building, would it be able to do that? I don't know.
well, you'd have to
if
feed
you
it all of
prompt
his
it
plans
properly. Yeah. So you put the
But
time
still.
into the prompt. Yeah,
No, it's not for me. For
I
creative
know.
works, it's not for me.
Yeah.
I know.
Plus, like, I think Brandon has a lot of interest and like he really wants to support other creators, I guess, other authors and artists. He does a lot of support for the visual arts, like that YouTuber you talked about.
Yeah.
So,
Oh.
and like he likes to put a lot of art in his books and stuff. So, yeah, I think he would rather support authors, real life authors than AI.
Well, and his Kickstarters are pretty rad.
Yeah.
I don't know of a single other author who does anything even close to that.
Yeah.
Well, go on. Describe.
Go on, Shayna.
Shayna's whole corner in their house, you know.
Yeah, that entire bookcase.
Yeah. Have you seen it recently, Alex?
Yeah, but what does that have to do with Kickstarter?
Well, there's some of the products up there from his Kickstarters, but so the first one he did that was pretty epic. It was his Way of Kings in a leather-bound edition, because on the 10-year anniversary of the publication of his books, he does a leather-bound edition. And the Way of Kings is such a huge book that they couldn't do just one. They couldn't fit it into one leather-bound book, so he had to do two.
So it's 2 volumes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got it.
And with the publisher who creates these leather-bound volumes, no, actually, I think it's with his main publisher. He's like obligated to sell them for $100. So I guess to not interfere with the regular sales or something. So, so he's like, so these are going to have to be $200 for like what, you know, he wrote as one book. And so he like felt bad about that. So he did a Kickstarter so that he could like be like, here's your $200 book plus a ton of extra like swag and freebies and stuff.
Okay. I was like, how could his publisher possibly let him kickstart a special edition of the book? It's not for the book, really. It's to make the $200
go
really
further.
worth what it should be.
Yes.
Okay, that is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
A ton of swag, like, but I mean,
well, he did. It was like an add-on to do. They called it the Year of Sanderson because he also secretly wrote 4 books during the pandemic.
Okay.
Actually, I guess that was the second Kickstarter. So now I'm conflating things. So the first one was, the leather bound with a bunch of extra like art prints and deck of cards and all this cool stuff that came with it. And then the next Kickstarter he did was for these books that he wrote in secret. And so it was like 4 books and he wanted to make them look beautiful. And he wanted to do a Kickstarter because of like a different avenue for publication and kind of a way to encourage other authors because the publishing industry is so consolidated. It's kind of like hard for authors to really make any money. But if you self-publish it, there's a more opportunity, I guess. So
yeah, especially if you do direct to consumer printing businesses, like you don't need the publisher at all.
Yeah.
If you use one of those.
Well, he did this through Dragonsteel, right?
Yeah, which is his own company. Yeah, so and then I think they said his company went from like 4 or 5 people to 60 people just for this Kickstarter.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
And I think he might be like 200 people now or something.
Well, speaking of helping other artists, Dragonsteel is a publisher, right? Doesn't he publish other people's works?
He's done a couple, but I don't think
not large scale.
Not too much. I'm not sure.
That's crazy.
But I think you're onto something. That's probably the future of this, though. Like, he's probably going to raise these authors and mentor them and give them like formal approvals, like right within the Cosmere.
Yeah.
And then probably build Dragonsteel into a niche or boutique publishing house, I bet.
Could be. He's planning on building a big bookstore down in Provo area now. Yeah.
I'm a little bit surprised that actually, do we know who actually owns Evermore now?
It's not Brandon.
It's not? Okay,
No,
I'm a little surprised.
It's a couple from St. George, I think.
Yeah, we know who they are.
But
do we? We do?
Yeah.
there are dragons involved.
Okay, well.
They're going to try to just reopen it straight.
They are?
And make some adjustments, yeah.
Oh.
From what I saw.
This is an amusement park, a theme park type attraction in the middle of Utah that was not as successful as everybody wanted it to be.
It's not a theme park in that there are rides.
Right.
It's more of an
LARPing,
experience.
cosplay, role-playing park.
Yeah.
Yeah, but with a lot of criticism towards like the actors and the actual role playing aspects of it and the quests and side
They
quests.
probably can't afford to pay actors well enough to get good acting.
And there were so many people. The one time we went, it's hard.
Yeah.
You need people for the business to thrive, but then the more people there are, the less the experience is good. So
Yeah, conceptually it needs a little work.
Yeah, we had fun the one time we went there, but it was like the first year, I think. So maybe they were a little more on top of it.
I
or
liked both
something.
times we went. I enjoyed it, but I'm more like people watching mode anyway. So I'm like, I feel like an external observer, like observing everyone else doing their thing. Because I can't get it. I can't get into it like that.
And we did
But
it
I have
when we
a
like
plenty
had the
fun.
kids. And
Yeah.
kind of trying to make it a thing for them more or less.
It's fun to watch.
They probably need an after hours type portion of the night where like everybody out, and now you can come back in if you have the after hours ticket where you have to be a certain age to buy it.
I think at 8:00 during the Halloween season, at 8:00, the real scary stuff started coming out.
Yeah.
And
Right.
So
Oh,
most,
yeah. That too. Like you can get even more intense with the scary stuff.
Yeah.
Too. If like you have to be 18 or over to be in after 9 or whatever.
Yeah.
But I did think they really did a bad job with concessions. They had like one tiny little hot chocolate stand and nothing else. I'm like,
that's problematic.
They could have cleared house.
That's
with
how you make money
concessions.
is concessions.
They hadn't finished building everything yet either at that point in time,
That's
right?
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely was not
They
completed.
did a pretty early soft open.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you call it a soft open, but yeah.
Some things.
Could've
There you
been
go.
cool.
Fix those
Yeah.
things and you'll be good.
But Brandon Sanderson did buy the land right next to Evermore, so it is.
Oh.
Well, that's interesting.
Yeah. So that's probably where his bookstore's going to be.
Oh, right.
But it's going to be like a whole village, I guess, not just a bookstore.
That is an interestingly strategic move. Putting that next to a clearly nerdy place to begin with.
Yeah.
He's probably gambling that it's going to fail again
So
and
he
it's going
can
to
buy
go
the
way
next
underpriced.
That would be brilliant.
Because Brandon Fugel was an initial investor
Right.
in Evermore.
Do you mean Brandon Sanderson?
No, Brandon Fugel.
Oh.
Sorry, just another one of the Brandons. that
Yeah.
we talk
He's
about.
the owner of Skinwalker Ranch
Oh, yeah.
and his big real estate guy.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because he's the one who sold it to these St. George people.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was part
Okay.
of the announcement of the sale.
That's right.
Yeah. So, yeah, I bet you he's just waiting for it to tank and then he's going to pull it from bankruptcy.
That would be pretty rad. I'm sure he could do something very cool with
Can you
it.
imagine, though? That would be
Yeah.
like a new Disneyland.
I know. Yeah.
But like a Utah-specific
Yeah.
Brandon Sanderson type.
Completely homegrown. Well, I mean,
hopefully.
Evermore was too, but
Because, that's how they pitched Evermore.
not originally, but eventually. Because originally it was supposed to be based on some classic English literature.
Oh,
yeah.
the Dickens.
And I
set
really sad they
Christmas
didn't do
time
that.
and-
It would have been pretty rad.
That would have
Yeah.
been smart. Whereas this, Sanderson's got all this lore, this whole Cosmere thing already. People know what's up.
Yeah.
They have the context, and then you just build it.
And if people are going to a ball,
Yeah.
so it's a role play for a convention of his, they'll go to a park.
Yeah. And that
Absolutely.
convention, the one that's happening this year, it sold out within an hour. And then he's getting
Holy
people
smokes.
from all over the world coming. So,
And it's
Oh
at
my
the
gosh.
yeah.
and it's already the largest venue in Salt Lake City.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but they didn't let him
Fire
have the
code.
entire space.
Yeah,
so.
Oh, they didn't
that's
give him
true.
the whole Salt Palace?
No, he told them, he's like, hey, we need it. But they were like, no, based on your numbers from previous years, we think you should only get this much space.
Well, those idiots left money on
Why
the
do they
table.
care if
Yeah.
he's going to pay them for the entire
Right.
I don't
building?
know.
Yeah, that was
All right.
a poor decision.
Well, they probably need cleanup. They probably do the cleanup and maintenance, and
Sure.
so I don't know.
They're still getting paid.
Yeah, since he pays for all the space.
Wait. Sorry,
Maybe
he's
it's
not paying
maintaining
for it.
relationships with other people that use the space or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and maybe it's not a direct payment; it's a split.
Oh,
of
like
the
a
profits.
royalties thing almost,
Yeah,
like 20% of the ticket sales. Yeah, could
So
be.
that's why they have to calculate what the estimated.
Yeah, could be.
Anyway,
Did you actually get to finish the story part of this, or did we keep cutting you
Yeah, I mean, I really just wanted to talk about the Cosmere.
off? Okay.
The story was a vehicle to the
I
Cosmere.
kind of feel like I need to get into these books now.
I know,
I
I tried.
Okay. Oh, that's a great point. All right. So for someone who has not read Sanderson, who's interested in the Cosmere,
Yeah,
where do you start?
I don't know. I Elantris is one of the first books that was written, and I loved it. And I've told people to start with that one, but I think everyone who I've told that is like, I didn't really like this.
Yeah.
And I've heard from people since too that they're like, you can tell that was in his early years.
Sure,
He wasn't like
sure.
quite as good of an author. So I guess that's not a good place to start. Actually, I think his secret projects, the more recent books, is what I would start people on because they were just so good. Like Tress of the Emerald Sea. Did you? You don't read any of
Say
them?
Tress?
I
Or-
haven't read anything.
But Heather.
Did you say you don't read anything?
No, Jacob said.
No,
Jacob
you
said
don't
that.
read it.
No,
Oh.
Jacob said I don't read it.
Oh, maybe I did say that about him.
Either way, it's accurate. Sadly.
Yeah.
Just wondering who's throwing shade on him.
So there's two in the secret projects that are just like so good and so fun. There's Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, and then there's Tress of the Emerald Sea. And when Heather was reading them, she was like, everyone says Tress is so good and it's the best, but I just read Yumi and Yumi was amazing and I just can't imagine that there would be a book that's better. And then she read Tress and she's like, oh, yep, that's better. So both of those are very good.
Are they both standalone stories
They're both standalone.
that
Yeah.
happen to be connected to the Cosmere?
Yes, and there's
Okay,
and the
interesting.
connections are pretty clear. He's not hiding the Cosmere
Sure,
anymore
sure.
like he did in the early books.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, that does sound like a good place to start.
Yeah, they're really fun.
No commitment to anything bigger if you're not up
Right.
for it, but you still get it, the real taste.
Those are
Are
pretty
these
short.
1,000-page books?
200, 300.
Yeah, I don't know the
Thousands
page
of
count,
hundreds of
but they're
pages.
definitely smaller for Sanderson.
How many
Okay,
hundreds
there
of
you go.
pages?
So they're more
thousands.
So those ones are more novella-sized books.
No,
than
they're
full
still
novels?
they're
They're
still
still full novels.
Novella
okay.
for
they're
him.
still full.
Okay, got it.
His novellas are full size books for other people.
Cool. Yeah. Remind me the name of them.
There's Tress of the Emerald Sea and Yumi and the Nightmare Painter.
Okay.
Tress was like his founding idea for it is the Princess Bride. If the princess wasn't just like, woe is me, but decided to go look for her lost love.
Cool. That
Yeah.
does sound good.
Interesting. Interesting. Is her long lost love a dread pirate?
No spoilers, Josh.
I just want to know how far to take this. Okay,
No,
fine.
it's more like she becomes the dread pirate.
Yeah, that's what I was hoping to hear.
Spoiler. Can I put up the spoiler alert again?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
dang it.
It's back on. Now, you mean the Nightmare Painter. It's not scary at all, is it?
No.
Dang it, because the imagery of a Nightmare Painter is so cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's okay.
I guess maybe, I don't know. There are nightmares.
Yeah.
I would hope so. That would be confusing.
But
But it's
not
like,
a
is it a
horror.
nightmare where like you have to pee really bad, but there's no toilets anywhere?
I hate that one. I hate that one.
Yeah. No, there's nightmares that are alive and walk the streets. And the painter has to
Paint them away.
paint them away. And that's the opening scene, so it's not a spoiler.
Okay, that's a lot like those video games where you have to use your camera to take a picture of the ghosts.
Oh yeah, very
'Cause-
Japanese.
Yeah, right.
Oh, it is a very Japanese cultural story.
Okay, wow,
Yumi.
nailed it.
Oh
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it was right there.
corn rice. Am I right?
So dumb.
Yeah, Brandon did his mission in Korea, so he does pull from Asia.
Interesting.
Nice.
Busan. Do you remember where?
No, I don't know.
Okay. I think that's a wrap. How do we end these?
Like that with a laugh.
Laughter.
Hey, kids, do you know what time it is?
Okay, well, I mean, we were thinking that would be the back nine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was almost kind of Stoonerdsy though.
I know.
Yeah.
Shane and I were talking about it because
That's
she's
fine.
like, "How would I
Yeah,
do it?" I'm
that's
like,
okay.
"Well, that's a good point. It is kind of stew nerds." Because all she wanted to talk about was the Cosmere.
Right.
I'm like, "Well," she's like, "Just tell me what the back nine segments are, and I'll make it fit in." And so I told her, and she's like, "Oh,
I have to tell a story about these. Well,
It's time to end our epic tale.
for
I don't know.
for ethical reasons.
Yeah. We've been lying to you.
If you didn't know.
If you couldn't already tell.
Yeah.
We did our best to make that real.
Shout out to 11 Labs.
Yeah. Got us some pretty good voices.
To be a little more clear, that final Hobo Witch story made it sound like, intentionally, like we did a lot of research and learned a lot about some real people.
But we don't have time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for ghosts. Yeah, that is a made up story that we made up while living together in college.
Yeah, so you could say some of it was truthful.
I mean, there was real research involved. Just not a lot of it.
Yeah. And not necessarily factual either, but
Sure. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, so we did room together at BYU.
could you,
If we haven't,
that was a running lie this entire podcast.
we're not
We were all
even
building up to this.
And yeah, and then just one fall because we had heard
Yeah.
stories from our aunt and our uncles.
Yep. Because we would talk about how we were spending so much time up in the canyon. They're like, oh, well, let me tell you.
Dang it. That's how, see, okay, so this is why my story went first, everybody.
Because you didn't even.
I
you
could not
couldn't even
remember
that.
what the inception was. I
yeah,
couldn't
yeah,
even
yeah.
remember how we kicked this off.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was Becky or Ryan first.
I think it was Becky.
Yeah.
That's
I
my
think so,
memory.
too.
Yeah, and the stories were like pentagrams in the canyon and leftover burnt effigy type things and candles left at these locations and stuff.
actual rituals of some kind happening around a fire, too.
Yeah.
Seeing that happen.
Yeah, that was Ryan.
Oh, I thought that was what Steve saw.
I don't know.
I thought Aunt Becky told us about Uncle Steve experiencing that.
I thought Becky told us about Ryan experiencing that.
Now, I will say in the 70s and 80s, Utah did go through this. Well, all of the United States went through this
Sure.
satanic panic.
Oh, yeah.
And
definitely.
Utah got hit hard. There's like some big church, like headquarters type related, like
Communication on it.
No, people trying to hype things up and trying to pull like some senior members of the church into stuff, and just
I
a lot
see.
of hoax
I see.
letters and things.
Okay.
Right.
Oh, okay.
And so it really did grip Utah particularly strong.
I
Sure.
gotcha.
Sure. Yeah, once you bring the church into it, that's going to happen.
Right.
In Utah.
Okay,
Yeah.
but I swear Becky told us a story about a friend of hers who was hiking up Rock Canyon, and a lady ran up out of the riverbed, like bit her, scratched her or something, and then ran off.
That was the one story I did not remember at all. No recollection.
It sounds familiar.
Okay, thank
That
you.
does sound familiar to me.
Okay.
Because for me, like that story was the one that was really like, oh dang,
Right.
this
yeah.
really fits in real well with what we're crafting here. Because then, I mean, I think we shared this as well on some of the signage near the mouth of the canyon. It's just graffiti. Well, at that point, it was just graffiti, but someone had in huge letters written "River Hobo."
Yep.
It's like, dude, there's got to be something there.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like
And
for
then-
me, that was a part of that was a backbone of what we crafted.
And then we're like, I think
From then on.
I think as we were hiking, so we did go on this hike, and we were like,
yes, the hike was real.
we're
That hike was
we're
real.
gonna capture something.
But we were also like, we're gonna make this story
Right,
real
yeah.
somehow.
We will capture something.
But everything we heard, it was all really actually experienced.
Even the story about a man dressed in 70s clothing falling into the canyon as a ghost. Even that ghost story we did not make up.
Yeah, you
even
can-
that is a legit
You
thing.
can find that
people-
all over the internet if
Yeah.
you search Haunted Provo,
Yeah.
Haunted Rock Canyon.
Yeah. So it just ties in so perfectly.
Yeah.
And I remember after we saw River Hobo on that sign up towards the front of the trail, and as we're hiking, we're like totally talking ourselves into this story that we're fabricating on the spot, right?
Yep.
So we're like tying all these things together, and then we freaking see that rock.
That rock was also
okay,
real.
Thank you. The rock was, out of all of this, that rock was the
Horrifying.
most genuine thing that happened.
horrifying
That
that
was
was real. That's when I was like, I don't want to do
Yeah, because you're like, oh no, wait a
We
minute,
made it real.
We really are close.
manifested.
Oh my gosh.
You're closer, which
Yeah.
is just horrible grammar, you know.
I know.
Yeah.
So
For all we
it was
know, it was
disappointing.
actually your closer.
No. I mean, she's a college dropout, so
and a musician. So, no, I'm just saying she's not like studying English. She's more of a mathematician than an English person, you know.
I guess
Okay.
music is in the
Music
humanities,
theory.
and so is language.
Oh, weird. Huh.
but yeah. So like when we found the cave the first time, because the first time we found the cave again, it was a genuine
Yeah, pretty much.
discovery for the
Pretty
three
much
of
what I
us.
said in my story. We saw some rock climbers, and we're like, "Oh, what's over there?"
Yeah,
And then we went over.
and I don't know. It did feel a little weird.
Yeah.
Like I mean, I'm sure. I don't think there was anything actually really happening in there. You guys can
It was weird though.
disagree, but it was weird with all the candle wax.
Yeah, we didn't stage any of that either.
and the soot in the very back and the log
Plank of
jammed
wood.
to it.
I will
Yeah.
say this: when we first found the draw, because of those climbers, we went all the way up and found the cave during the day.
Mm-hmm.
Went into the cave. There was nothing in the cave. Nothing. The writing was on the walls, but the candles weren't stuck in the wall. That log wasn't at the back. None of that was there until we came back at night.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, I don't either.
I have a very clear memory of that.
Interesting.
That's why it freaked me out.
That makes sense.
Because
the rock and
someone
then
might be
the
back soon
additions.
to keep using whatever this
Oh,
is.
You know what? And that's I kind of do remember that because I was like, I didn't feel the need to go in because I'm like,
Right.
I've already been in
Yeah,
there.
Right, yeah.
So instead, I'm going to stay out here and just because that night we went in there were voices and sounds.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to stay at the front of the cave to just be a boundary layer there.
Yep.
And I already knew it was in there. So I didn't
thought
have any
you
interest,
did.
you know,
Yeah.
no curiosity at that point.
No good pictures of that weird altar thing exist anymore.
No.
Man.
If any of them were good to begin with, they're dead now.
And that goes into our drama because we also did, believe it or not, have a website.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah, that was all real.
I mean, I think we were having those plans to begin with. This is how we're going to get people into this.
Did you mention that? We were stupid enough to think, oh man, we could make a Blair Witch style
No.
mockumentary and enter Sundance with this.
Yeah, we did not.
We had big visions.
We did not
Yeah.
understand what Sundance was at
No.
that point in time.
No, but we did properly understand the effort it took to make Blair Witch.
Right. That's true.
I still think we could have. Or I think we're probably better equipped now.
Well, yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, now that we're spoiling the story.
Not the next story. though.
Hobo Witch 2.
Of course.
Hobo
No.
Witch of
The second story is further up the canyon where we found the thing that escaped from that fenced in
Oh,
area.
yeah.
Right?
Jurassic
I
Forest.
think about that all the time.
Yeah,
That was weird.
That was weird.
With all the bullet holes in the sign.
And no kidding.
Oh,
I went camping up there and I saw a large cracked open egg.
What?
Yeah, dude, I'm not making this up. No, I'm not making this up. So like after the morning after I got up from camp, I started hiking up and there's a big egg that was cracked
Okay,
open.
how big?
Like this big. Like a
He's saying
quadruple A
something
egg.
like a softball.
You know, like
maybe
a
little bit
triple A
bigger.
jumbo egg or whatever? Like a jumbo egg from
Yeah.
the store?
Oh, that's all?
Maybe like 1.5 times bigger.
Oh,
Or 1.5 times.
So definitely not an ostrich egg.
No. But it was abnormally large. And in the mud on the trail next to it were freaking 3-toe, 1 dew claw prints.
Pheasant.
I mean,
That's my
obviously, it's not dinosaurs. It's something, or someone's pet turkey or something. But I was like, what?
But yeah, our website was pretty awesome.
It was.
Like we posted updates.
It's a pretty cool social media site before they really existed.
Yeah, this wasn't the first time we've interviewed. We there's a rock feature as you're just really starting to get into the canyon. Once you've gotten past the river delta, is what I called it in my story. Open area at the mouth, and everything starts to narrow. They call it the stairs, right?
We call it the stairs.
Oh, we call it the stairs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We like to assign names to geographic features, like from our paintballing days.
Because it was kind of like climbing up some really steep stairs, and we just climbed up there and with my camera again, and used it in night vision, or did I apply that filter afterwards?
I thought it was in night vision.
It was.
Why wasn't I always filming in that during the thing? Anyway, yeah, filmed it in night vision. It was all green and grainy, and
It's told our story.
had like 20 people that were highly
It
invested.
was like
in
20, right?
Yeah.
How the heck did we get 20?
I think it was mostly my friends from back home.
You had a lot more friends than I did.
There were a lot of people that we didn't know who they were.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah.
It's just the beginnings, the heyday of like social internet. So everyone was like looking for weird stuff, I guess. How did they even find us?
That was a weird website, man.
Were we putting it up on Facebook?
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We had a
I
Facebook
did
page
have
as well.
Facebook. Oh.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
But then, what was it? Zing?
no.
Ning, think.
Yeah.
I thought it was with an X. I really did.
Ning.
Ning
Yeah.
would was creating communities, not your own
Creating your
personal
own
page.
Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah. And so they would highlight different communities.
Right.
And you would just go on and you would search communities that you felt like you would fit into. And
So
that
people
would
that
work
were
for you.
already Ning users in some way probably found us.
Maybe
Yeah,
in Provo. Maybe
potentially.
they searched on Provo.
Maybe.
They saw a hobo witch of Provo.
But yeah, then you had my one friend Travis, who's
What a champ. Can I just say,
he was
bless you,
man,
Travis.
he was
Sweet Travis.
so invested. I
He
hope
trusted you, Jacob.
I
How
haven't
could you
told
have
him
lied
yet.
to him? A listener?
I don't
oh,
think So he's looking at all these pictures that we took of all this these markings on the cave wall, and he's searching
cross-referencing
images
right,
on Google.
right.
He's like, dude, these look like satanic markings for sure. Like, dude, look at this one. This one looks just like this symbol, and this one looks just like this. I'm like, oh no, Travis.
But we did not make those up.
No,
We didn't put those on the walls.
Yeah, we didn't stage anything in that video except that we
So,
Back in those days.
But again, I think I rest. I can go to sleep at night knowing that it's kind of like our version of Ancient Aliens, where we documented real things and then we just told our
and then
story.
ran with it.
what are you saying about Ancient Aliens?
They're telling their truth.
He's saying they're running with it. It was really fun. It was so fun.
That was a blast. That was a really fun creative project.
It was great to have that
Yeah.
Sundance movie to dream about.
Oh man.
Oh, but that's not all. Brainstorming sessions thinking up how to make this a video game too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, everyone needs to realize. I mean, this is how many years after the fact.
Oh,
We
boy.
did this in
Oh,
08, 09, something like that.
Oh, yeah. 08.
So we're. I can't do math. I've never. 16
Man.
years after the fact.
Yep, 16 years.
So-
you mean right now?
Right now.
Yes,
So this
sorry.
is 16 years later, everybody. When I said in my interview that we still think about this.
Yeah, right.
That's truthful.
yeah.
It's not because of the terror or
Yeah.
the trauma, but it's because it was such a blast. It was such a fun thing. And yeah, and as Alex is talking about, we had big plans.
Yeah.
we were we tried to get terrain height maps of the canyon
Oh,
from
man.
the limited tools that existed on the internet
That
at
was
the time.
so not fun trying
And-
to figure that out.
Alex tried to bump map it into
Into height map in Unreal 3.
Unreal.
And you did. I mean, you did do that.
Yeah, I just couldn't figure out how to make it
The
scale.
resolution wasn't great enough.
Scale didn't seem right.
And the detail was just
And
awful.
how to use open world style map loading so that
Yeah,
the,
buffering
the
between
one
the
map
zones.
is a continuous level.
Yeah. So I bet the tools are way better now, guys.
Unreal Engine
Of
is still
course.
free if you're not going to make money off of it. It's got AI tools for making stuff look super realistic.
Yeah.
Well, that was our first idea for a video game, and then we tried that. I think Jacob was on modeling buildings.
Yeah, the
I
hut.
took pictures. Yeah.
Because there was like a water treatment hut of some kind.
Using Blender. Were you on Blender?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blender. No Rhino 3D anymore at that point.
Doesn't Blender just work so much better with Unreal?
Oh, yeah, no, for sure.
I think that was
Yeah.
probably the main
Yeah.
impetus.
That makes sense. Yeah, but once we tried it for a little while and saw that's going to be a lot harder than we thought, we went and had another brainstorm session and downgraded it to a top-down 2D game. Do you guys remember this?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's still my vision for it.
Programming aid?
Yeah. JI does the top coding.
Oh, chap. Yeah, gameplay mechanics. You can come up with.
QA.
well,
You
what
can
makes
QA
it
test
fun?
for us.
There we go.
Get the kids to QA it.
Can't even design sprites.
Oh yeah, I'm not.
In-game AI programming done correctly, because
Oh man,
none of us
that's
know
right.
anything
See our
about
big
in-game AI.
because we wanted her to be intelligent.
Yeah, we were going to have like
And-
these. I think we were thinking about how would you program this, and I think we had like different radii away from her for different
her
types
behavior.
of behavior. Yeah,
And so you
Based on proximity.
Yeah, that's right. We were
Depending on
doing-
which radius,
like the
you venture
music,
into.
the violin
Yeah,
kicking
right.
in, things getting dark.
that battle.
Yeah, that's right.
yeah. There's not a lot of space. to move
So
around
the,
in,
the
except for-
we'd
you're
have to have
right.
some kind of hiding mechanic.
Shoot, we never thought
you
about
know?
that, did we?
Put in enough draws
Yeah,
or something.
Yeah.
We are talking about it again. Maybe we need to do enough of this. Do this.
We love to dream about things and then never do them.
Hey, we did the podcast.
That's true.
We have
This
a
was-
creative
this was our
spirit.
first big thing that we actually did.
Good point. We didn't just dream it. We did it. Okay.
And end. Right arrow.
It's not supposed to.
The light is.
Oh no.
It stopped the time at 1:20.
Oh, that was like one of the best episodes we've ever recorded.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dang it, that's what I was gonna do.
Oh shoot! Do it. You're gonna do it better.
Thank you.
For being our brother.
Wow, did
That
we
might be
just
too
nail that?
energetic, though.
Okay. we'll take another run at it then.
Okay. For being our brother.
The first one was too energetic.
Gotcha.
Production of this podcast is done by Alex Stewart.
With music by Jared Poff and Alex Stewart.
For show notes, rockin' merch, and other brother goodness, check out our website at anotherbrotherpodcast.com.
Be sure to come back next week.
And tell your friends so they too can become a
Brother over here.